Pokemon Company, I got a bone to pick with you. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for coming to see this video for the few dozen of you that will. Anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video pretty much talking about how the Pokemon Company made some bad decisions over the last year or so. I guess this is kind of a ranty video, kind of upset with them for one of the decisions that they made, and that is not releasing the game this last year on the Switch. Instead, going with the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon route on the 3DS. Now, I can kind of see why they chose not to do it because of the install base of the Switch compared to the 3DS. They wanted to get as many sales as they could get, and plus they thought that the Switch was going to fail. It's pretty bad when the CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara tells Nintendo that the Switch is going to fail, and then it comes around and succeeds quite a bit, as we can tell from today's earnings of, what was it, 17.79 million units sold. Insane. And in Japan, it's actually catching up with lifetime sales with the PS4. Which is even more crazy because the PS4 has been out longer. Plus, they have two systems out for the PS4. The PS4 and the PS4 Pro. It's just pretty crazy. The Switch is killing it. And I don't understand why the CEO of Pokemon thought that the Switch was going to fail. It's a hybrid system. People love portables. And who wouldn't have guessed that people would use the Switch more as a portable machine than a home console? I mean, it doesn't take really the smartest people in the world to guess that. I mean, I guess if they were going off the sales of the Vita, they probably think it was going to fail. But if you're going to create a way more powerful portable console than the Vita, it's going to pass. It's good. It's going to succeed. And plus, I can't say every because I don't know every handheld console Nintendo sold sales numbers. But I'm pretty sure that every single one that Nintendo's come out with have blown everything out of the water. They've just been selling like crazy hotcakes. Like this 3DS. The 3DS has sold 72.5 million units. That's just crazy. I mean, the lifetime hardware sales of the Game Boy Advance was 81 million. The Game Boy was 118 million. Portables always sell. Always. Except for the Vita. But I mean, Nintendo portables always sell well. Because Nintendo has the portables down. They understand it. They know what people want from their portables, what kind of games they want. Portables sell. And I don't understand why the Pokemon Company thought that the Switch was going to fail. Now, to add even more icing to the cake, top sellers for the Nintendo Switch, as just came out today with the earnings call, Super Mario Odyssey, 10.41 million units sold. 10.41 million. That is insane for an install base of 17 million Nintendo Switches out there. And then, second runner-up, which is also very close, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a re-release of a Wii U game on the Switch, sold 9.22 million copies. A port from the Wii U sold 9.2 million copies on the Switch. Insane. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sold 8.4 million copies on the Switch. These sales numbers aren't small for a console that's barely over a year old. Now, in retrospect, guess how many units Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon sold? They sold 7.5 million units. Now, that game came out a month after Super Mario Odyssey, so it was like a few weeks difference between the release dates of these two games. And, as you're seeing here, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, 7.5 million units. Guess how many units Sun and Moon sold? 16 million units. X and Y sold 16.2 million units. Now, I also know that the second versions or third versions usually, of Pokemon games sell typically about half of what the first two sold. I get that. But after the Switch came out, people had this expectation. There are all these rumors and leaks and all this jazz, Pokemon stars, of a Pokemon game coming to the Switch. Everybody was expecting a Pokemon game to come to the Switch. Everybody from the start of the first Nintendo Switch teaser knew that the Switch was going to succeed. Everybody loved the system, which, baffles me how the Pokemon CEO thought the Switch was going to fail. It's a portable console. So, people were expecting Pokemon to come out on the Switch. It didn't. And it sold 7.5 million units, which is less than both Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, and Zelda on a smaller install base. Like, a third, maybe even a fourth. Yeah, it's less than a quarter of the install base of the 3DS. And those 3 games sold more than Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now, I can't say I know for 100% fact, but I have a strong feeling that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would have sold incredibly well if they came out for the Switch. People are hungry for games on the Nintendo Switch, especially RPG games. I mean, even Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sold over 1 million units for the first time in the whole Xeno games period. People are hungry for games on the Switch. The attachment rate is high for games on the Switch. Even indie developers are saying that they're getting more money on the Switch than they do on other home consoles and PCs. Why didn't the Pokemon Company release these games on the Switch? I don't understand it. I guess you could say that they didn't want the young team working on a port of the game to the Switch, which, I mean, Pokemon Company knew about the Switch coming for a long time. They could have been working on the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games for the Switch for a while. They could have done it. They really could have. But instead, now they're trying to play catch up, and now they have to live up to these expectations that keep building up and building up and building up for this Pokemon release on the Switch. Now, anticipation is at an all-time high, pressure is at an all-time high, because people are just frustrated that they didn't release these games on the Switch when they should have and they could have. They had plenty of time. I'm sure they had plenty of time. They already have the basis for the games down. If I can get the footage, you'll probably see right now, the models that they had for this game were already in HD. Like, all they really have to do is change up the UI a bit so that you can access the bags and your moves and stuff from a single screen, like how they did in the old games. And, Kanto throughout, when did they stop? Hoenn? They've had experience with doing, they know how to make it all on one screen. Now they have an even bigger screen with a higher resolution that they can fit more on. They could have done it. But instead, what I feel like was arrogance, that they believed that the Switch was going to fail. That's what I believe is the reason why they didn't make the games for the Switch. Not about time, not about money. It was all because they were pretty sure that the Switch was going to fail and that they weren't going to get as many sales on the Switch as they would on the higher install base of the 3DS. But the numbers are showing otherwise. They could have made a killing on the Switch. Because then at that point, if they even still just sold the 7.5 million like they did on the 3DS, instead of selling these games for $40 a pop, they could have been selling them at $60 a game. $60. And a lot of people will buy both versions of the Pokemon games that come out. So that's $120 versus the $80 that they were getting on the 3DS. That profit boost would be insane. It would have been insane for this next Pokemon game to come out on the Switch. That would have been such a huge revenue bump for them. They could probably have hired more people if they wanted to. They could take longer if they really needed to. The Pokemon Company doesn't need to release a game every year. And I'll get onto that in my next video on why I believe, or how I think that they should do the next Pokemon games. Probably not this next one coming out on Switch. Well, they can still do it on there, but like I said, another video. But for right now, I just feel like Pokemon, you guys should have made this game come out on a Switch. You guys should have had faith in the Switch succeeding. And because you didn't, it cost you a lot of money. Point blank, you lost a lot of money from not doing this. And instead wanting to, I guess, play it safe and put the game on the 3DS. That's all I gotta say. Tell me what you guys think down below. If you feel like the Pokemon Company made a huge mistake, if you think it was arrogance or not, or if you think it was just them playing safe and you agree with what they did. I personally don't. I think a lot of other people don't agree with their decision. They could have made this game for the Switch. They could have made a lot more money. As the numbers are showing, Mario Odyssey, 10 million units a month before Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Lost a lot of money, Pokemon. So while editing my video, I realized I was being a little harsh on the Pokemon Company. I just want to say, I love the Pokemon Company. I truly do love Pokemon. I grew up with it. It was kind of a bridge between my late stepbrother and I. We became best friends after, bonding over Pokemon, playing it, battling, trading. Pokemon means a lot to me. a whole lot. And I just want the Pokemon company to succeed. I just want them to grow and, you know, get everything that they deserve and more. I love Pokemon. They really do hold a special place in my heart. The Pokemon RPG games are the only games that I know won't let me down for sure. Not one of them has let me down yet, gameplay and story-wise. They've all been great in their own ways. I love them to death. I'll always be a huge Pokemon fan. Love them. I mean, I agree with some of their decisions from time to time, but there's nothing like Pokemon. It really does bring out amazing memories and nostalgia for me. And like I said, it was a great bridge between my late brother and I, so it really does hold a special place in my heart. So I don't want you guys to think that I just hate Pokemon and just want to trash them and badmouth them and this, that, and the other. I truly do love Pokemon. Honestly, I wish I had more money to give to, you know, the trading card game and stuff and all the other games, but I don't. I'm limited mostly to just their mainline RPGs and such. I've played them all. Well, I haven't played Diamond or Pearl, but I did play Platinum. And I don't know if I will get around to Ultra Sun or Moon, mostly because of money. I'm a poor college student. But I love Pokemon. I don't want anybody to think otherwise. Pokemon will always be my favorite franchise and the one that I hold closest to my heart. So take that as you will. I'm out.